Welcome to Final V3. We're going to talk about the most interesting video in the world.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I don't know, man. My mind is really fixated right now on how my dad, after watching Happy Feet, started cutting up all like the 6-pack holder plastic things, you know. And I was like, and I thought it was a coincidence as a kid until I asked him, like, why are you cutting those up? And he's like, well, you remember Happy Feet? And I'm just thinking about that. But the holidays are coming.
The holidays are coming. We're going to be seeing 6 packs of penguins wash on shore very soon.
Grok, generate me Happy Feet
Grok.
3. Focus specifically on the 6-pack strangling penguins washing up on shore. George Miller famously said, if you asked me to make a Happy 3 and you put a gun to my head, I'd tell you pull the trigger.
I love that quote so much, and I use it all the time. Speaking of works of creative genius, Coca-Cola put an awesome ad out that we're not going to talk about because, listen, it did its job. It made me want to do Coke.
Sure.
The thing that we're here to talk about is the behind-the-scenes video. That's the most fascinating thing I've ever watched in my entire life. And for some reason...
So there's a production company called Secret Level.
Yes.
Who bills themselves as being like... You know, they're a standard production company. You go to them, you pay them, and they make some shit for you, but powered by AI.
Yes, they're an AI studio.
These are the guys behind last year's Christmas advertisement that was AI generated that played on the fucking Super Bowl or whoever gives a fuck. They did another one this year. Same guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're doing a very peculiar thing.
They're doing a peculiar thing. Now, I'm trying to think about how much groundwork we need to lay, because there's like a pre-conversation about, we have been on this podcast and me for fucking years, been talking about new creative tools and AI tools specifically in the framework of like what they do to how people tell stories about making stuff.
And you've also independently just been talking a lot about the way people tell stories using like the DVD extras type shit.
Yeah. Been talking about this shit for years.
This is so targeted, it's crazy.
The fact that they have gone and made a DVD extra.
We need to explain to people. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Sorry, this has been a long time coming.
He's so excited. He's so excited to talk about the worst dog shit we've ever seen.
It's my favorite fucking video ever right now. Okay, so I'm gonna try and like speed run the mindset that I'm coming into this with. I'm going to lay down a lot of groundwork in not that much time, okay? Because I need you to agree with me on some stuff before we get here.
You need to agree with all my opinions so that I can give you my new opinions, okay? This is really important.
Yes. Listen, we're light years ahead of the discourse right now, all right? We need to, if you can cast your mind back to where the common people
Coca-Cola advertisement. They did the fucking AI generated one. Holidays are coming. Blah, 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 blah. It's blue in the fucking semi truck.
Chanted like a threat, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really awesome.
I never thought of that.
Let's quickly speed run 100 years of creative philosophy. All right. So
we'll get back to Coca-Cola AI.
We'll get back to Coca-Cola. Put the Coke on the shelf. Put it back in the fridge. We're coming for it later. All right.
You're asking for a fucking lot right now.
I know, but I believe in you. Okay. So play, really fucking annoying word to stick a definition on, and anyone who tries should be shot. But we know what we mean when we're talking about play. It's like you put yourself in tension with some rules. Oh my God,
you're starting with Homo ludens? Is that where we're
starting? 100 years of creative philosophy, all right?
Oh my God, okay.
When I talk about play, I'm talking about when people put themselves in tension with like a set of rules as like a microcosm of human experience, whether that's like sports and playing ball, or whether that's playing with the constraints of like a given medium or limited tools or your current skill level, right? Like when we talk about making stuff, creativity is an act of play, right? A lot of the joy of making stuff is finding a set of constraints and being human in them, seeing who you are and what you can do within chosen constraints.
Creativity is a form of play, according to the mindset that we are operating within here.
Yes. And over the past 20 years, especially, creativity has become a spectator sport, right? Like watching people make art within specific chosen constraints has become like a first class kind of content. It has its own fucking Twitch category now. It's not just, oh, I made this art and look at it. It's like, I made this art in 24 hours. I made this art with 80s technology authentically.
Has been on this for literally years, and the way that he tends to cap it up is by saying that creativity is becoming a sport.
Yes.
And it's a very snappy way of putting it. It's very reductive, but whenever he says that, this is what he actually means.
Yeah.
Important thing to emphasize about that is that whenever you say to some people, like, oh, creativity is becoming a sport, it can be discouraging for especially young, inexperienced artists, because it's like, well, that's inherently competitive and I can't compete with the best out there. It's like, no. Like, in the same way that I don't play soccer with my dad in the hopes of competing in FIFA, we do it for the love of the game, you know? That's that like same shit. So whenever we say as a sport, we mean a form of play.
We're talking about how human beings relate to creativity. What that does to the way that we relate to creative tools is that, you know, they're not just there to be functional means to an end. They're stages upon which the stories of our creative process are performed, or like the props that we're using in these stories, right? Like when we talk about shit
this
that
is really done. We're getting really into the weeds of it. We're getting heady in this.
We're going all the way in, and then we're going to talk about the Coke ad. All right, we're still We're still going to get to the topical subject of the moment. Stick with me here. All right. And
listen, you just need to read Homo Ludens, and then you need to read.
You need to listen to our podcast, okay?
And then you need to listen to all of the Death Stranding behind the scenes promotional videos.
The big thing is just that the conversation about the way people make things, grappling with different rules and limitations, is super in the forefront right now, because 12-year-olds today will never know a world where they couldn't generate cool looking images or whatever with like no effort. And the result of that is that to that 12-year-old, having a cool looking image is pretty worthless. It's changed the way that people value artistic objects, which is part of why we've begun really emphasizing process, and why.
Right. And it's like, and that's sort of the answer that we've both come to through AI, is that a lot of people are understandably extremely worried that it is devaluing art, which, if we're talking in the commercial sense, then yes, it is. But in terms of how we perceive it, not necessarily. It's changed the way that we engage with it.
It's shifting and focusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shifting and focusing where people place value. And so having this Coca-Cola AI ad come out, okay, if you're on board with the fact that creativity is an active play, and with AI tools, we've begun really like valuing stories of creative process, because that's become like the scarce and really interesting thing.
Right. The thing that AI tools specifically, we need to illustrate this very explicitly.
Yes.
That it's the thing that like AI tools, at least the ones that are being developed and sold to people en masse, you know, the Mid-Journeys of the world, they're kind of being built on this idea of like streamlining to the process to the point of there not being a process anymore, cutting out as much between you having an idea and that idea existing.
Yeah,
removing the process from the creative process, which is interesting because, as we've been talking about, that stands in direct opposition to the thing that people are now gravitating more towards, which is the part of the process as part of the point, or the whole point, the focal point of a given work.
Yeah, okay, fuck it. I was about to pull out of this, but I'll go even deeper, right? Thank you for giving me permission to do this by pulling us out of the Coke ad. We're almost at risk of talking about something that people cared about for a second, but now we're going to talk about what we want to, and I'm overjoyed.
Listener, Sam and I are both writing the AI video right now, so there's just a lot.
Yeah.
There's just a lot on the mind.
Yeah. Okay, so this conversation
about this a lot.
Yeah, let's fucking drill deep, all right? Because this conversation about creative process, about grappling with rules and limitations.
We've been avoiding talking about AI on this podcast for so long.
I've been holding this shit back for years because I haven't trusted the discourse. But this conversation about process, about how people make things, about grappling with rules and limitations, this is a conversation about game design. We're talking about the play experience of making art with a certain medium or with certain tools. That's what we're talking about, right? The gameplay experience of creativity. And so looking at the gameplay experience of using Midjourney or one of any tool like Sora or Vibes or whatever.
It's the equivalent of playing a slot machine.
It's exactly the slot machine. I love that comparison so fucking much because the intent there is It is trying to reduce the surface of your creative input as much as possible and give you as much output as possible, which means that there's not really like much room for you to leave fingerprints on the work. It barely exists as like an artifact of an experience that you had, because the experience of using the tool is limited to like typing a prompt. And there's a sliding scale of like AI tools and the kind of input they let you have. But like, this is what's being pushed the most, is that like you will be able to use almost no effort to get a certain output. This is the thing where it's like, it's really hard to tell a story about I used Midjourney, because the story is I typed a thing and I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's cool. You know?
Right.
So it's a story of curation more than it's a story of creating something and coming into tension with stuff. It's just shitty gameplay.
For those who haven't played around with those tools very much, you don't just get one output, you know, like it's a matter, usually there's a process of refining things in order to get exact or as close to what you want as the thing is willing to give you. And so you may type in an initial prompt of like woman big boobs, smiling big boobs, and then it's like not quite specific enough. And so that's how you end up like with prompt engineers, as they call themselves, basically like finding the best keywords that a particular model responds to, finding the ways to like mix things together to give them an output that they want. It's fucking miserable. But yeah, it's a matter of just like trial and error to get the outputs closer and closer to resembling what you want them to resemble.
Yeah.
So like playing a slot machine with a couple extra steps.
Yeah. So as we're going from that description into the Coke thing, right? My general argument and your general argument is like, in reaction to the existence of AI, future creative tools will stop promising to be like, we can let you make literally anything. They'll go the other way. They'll be trying to present you like, here's a unique, fun set of limitations, and how do we like emphasize those and surface those in the final result as much as possible, or make that process fun to watch. What's like an interesting way to make stuff is going to be the central question of a world where you can have a make anything button.
Yeah.
Pico 8 versus Unity is like a good example of that.
I mean, you can find good examples of that literally anywhere.
Yeah, we're in a beautiful age of like interestingly fucked up tools right now. If you're looking like on itch.io tools section, there's so much cool fucked up shit there. It's awesome.
This is a separate conversation, but I'm just going to throw this out here and then we're going to move on. But man, I need more actively hostile tools. I need tools I need tools that annoy me on purpose. It's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. I'm restraining myself from going off on that tangent. The point is, Coca-Cola, all right? New ad. The holidays are coming. It's like excessively...
This recording session has been going for 18 minutes and we have finally gotten to Holidays Are Coming 2025 secret level Coca-Cola AI ad.
All right, yeah, they put out this ad. It's the trucks are coming in, and the animals are cheering, and the trucks have different numbers of wheels,
and the choir is chanting.
Holidays are coming, and the children are crying in the background.
Yeah, and everything's really, really blue because they had to really aggressively color correct for a model that kind of just throws colors everywhere haphazardly.
Yeah. Alongside that, they put out this 2-minute DVD extra. Now, we love DVD extras here.
We love extras.
We did a whole episode about the Star Wars documentary that shouldn't exist. We love this kind of story of people making stuff. And this, I genuinely think it's worth a watch, because they go down the list of tropes and even editing beats in a behind the scenes video, but the story doesn't work.
How did I put it whenever you sent it to me? It was like sorry, I'm scrolling up because this activated my neurons as well.
I really like what I wrote. I
was high whenever you sent it to me too, so I was like, oh
yeah.
There is something so incredibly post-ironic about doing a promotional ad about the artistry that went into your beautiful art and then showing a montage of you, in fact, not doing that.
It's even more interesting than that.
2-minute long advertisement is nothing. It's less than nothing. It is a bunch of people pretending to do work.
Yeah.
Listener, You have to we're going to link it in the description. You got to look at it. It's the funniest fucking thing ever. There is so much. There is a shot where someone forgot to turn their fucking stylus on and is miming like brushing over a pixelated CG rabbit or something.
Before we get and they immediately undo the brushstroke, and that's where the shot ends, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Before we start there, I just want to point out that trying to do a DVD extra featurette, behind the scenes, whatever, telling the story of making a heavily AI thing, that's the thought experiment, right? That's the thought experiment that we've been talking about for all the time of yours that we've wasted up until this point in the episode, right?
Yeah, it's like, how do you show off the making of a thing where you barely made any of it? And the answer is you lie and you play pretend for 2 minutes. And it's fucking awesome.
It's even more interesting than that, I feel like. But imagine talking about this for years, and then they just do it. Any analogy appropriate to capture the ecstasy that I felt watching this video, it would jeopardize my career to even think it while on a microphone. So I'm not gonna do that. But like, this is
you're probably like the only person on earth who is like overjoyed when this thing dropped. I think like I can say that with quite a lot of confidence.
I'm the only one who's happy about this. So because I have a favorite part of this video, but I want to ask what your favorite bit was.
Oh, it's tough. There's so much to choose from.
It contains also, just as a thing, like you mentioned, the most egregious pretending to work footage I've ever seen. This is better than the Call of Duty Ghost Dog, where like they crash zoom into someone flapping the mouth open and closed with their mouse. It's better than that, right? Like that shot Julian was talking about, where the person is taking an AI generated image, draws a little gray on it, and then undoes it. That's just like a 1 second story in the middle of this thing. It's fucking awesome.
There's so much that's just like there's so much horse shit. Like there's a shot wherever they create a fake AI generated character turnaround, and then they feed that into like one of those image to video tools, so that the turnaround comes to life, and it fucking sucks because obviously, and they're pitching that as like, we're doing the animation or where we fucking put it in a Midjourney or whatever. Yeah, and oh my god, there's the bit where they keep coming back to like where they're just showing the 18-wheelers, or well, the amount of wheels is up for debate depending on the shot, but the wheelers in Photoshop or whatever, and just plastering the Coca-Cola logo onto the side of the caravans, as if that's like high artistry. Like they're using the warp tool to put a logo on a wall and show and presenting it as if it's like artisan craftsmanship. I think that's my favorite part.
This is, oh my god, I love this happens almost every time there's like a big AI video story where like they feel the need to justify, like, this actually did take a lot of like human artistry, like by hand work.
They want to have it both ways. They want to have it because they want to be able to say, look how much we've streamlined the process. Look how much we have look how much less this will cost you because so much less work in terms of man hours was involved. But they also want to be respected as artists, and so they have to sit on this weird fucking paradoxical standpoint of simultaneously this being easy and not taking much time, but also being really hard and being crafted by hand.
Yeah, and specifically the stuff that they do is they say like, well, we AI generated all the video and stuff, but like we had to do some rotoscoping to fix it, and we had to do some by hand like motion tracking.
Yeah, great.
And stuff to make sure the logos are right. And it's like, you're doing the thing. You're doing it to yourself with no one asking you. The thing that artists are worried about is that, oh, we're going to automate away all of the parts of the process that we actually express ourselves in, and that the only work available for artists is going to be like shitty menial cleanup work.
Yeah.
And you're just doing that to yourself.
It's incredible. They have developed a workflow that is everything that we feared it would be. Yeah. Wherever the only artful part of this process is the part where you had to go in and fix shit, where you had to do rotoscoping or whatever. God, no.
Yeah, and it's like, that's not the part that is if you're going to automate a part, like automate the tracking of the fucking Coke logo on the side of the truck. I don't care about that part.
Right. Like, why is that the one part a person is doing? doing?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's
like I
awesome.
just agree. Like I'm like, yeah, that is, you sure are doing the thing that I was worried you were gonna do. I love that part so much. My favorite bit is, okay, so if you've ever watched animation, specifically behind the scenes videos, you've seen the part where they show you the concept art of the character that was drawn by hand, and then they show different stages of the process, or they cut from the concept art of like Mike Wazowski to the final render.
Right.
And the storytelling work being done by that cut is,
I know what you're going to say.
Look how many,
This was great. This is a little more subtle, but it's a great moment.
But yeah, well, like when you see that stuff in a behind the scenes, the storytelling work being done by that cut is like, look how many decisions were made in this process to go from one to the other. And when you see all the little differences, you're like, oh, that's really interesting, because even if I don't fucking know anything about how animation is done, I intuitively understand that there are people, there are decision-making agents in this process who had to do things to this. And that's like an interesting thing to sit with for a second.
A before and after is interesting because you get to see the beginnings of an idea and then the result of a lot of iteration and a lot of people weighing in. It's just the refinement is inherently interesting.
Yeah. And that beat, that exact beat, is in this video, right?
Yeah.
They show someone hand drawing a picture of a cartoon panda, and then they cut to like 30 different.
It just looks like Po from Kung Fu Panda. By the way, we can't not mention that. It's like it's pretty exactly just Po.
Julian has critiques of the panda design.
I don't have critiques because it's not made by anyone. What am I critiquing? A wall?
They cut from this hand-drawn cartoon panda, and they show someone drawing it, and then they show like 30 different AI-rendered variations. It's the exact same storytelling beat, but it doesn't work because in this version, no decisions were made. Right? The thing that you put in the process to take it from the concept art to the rendering is not informed by experiences. It's not I can't imagine there's a character there.
Yeah.
Also, all of the variations look different, but again, that doesn't do anything for me because it doesn't look different for a reason. It looks different because that's the variation that Midjourney or whatever image-to-image model they were using spit out.
Yeah,
it's fucking fascinating.
It's nothing. It's just look at all the results we got from our slot machine. It's like fucking great, man.
Yeah, it's like you're implying that there is this continuous chain of decisions being made, but like the scope of what kind of decisions are being made narrows drastically the instant that you like slop over it with an AI, that it's like there's no story there anymore. You just curated a bunch of images, and that's not that interesting. I do that every time I look at an image.
Yeah, a machine gave you like 30 images, and you pointed at one and said, "I like that one." That's the story.
And by the way, at that point, why did you even draw it's not like there was a unique aspect to the panda originally.
Yeah.
It's like it was a fine drawing of a panda.
Okay, Sam, would it be funnier, because I have a sneaking suspicion that this is the case, would it be funnier if they only did that after the fact for this promotional video? If all of those generated like concept images were only done after the fact and the artist just drew the one and that's what they went with.
I want a community guideline strike for this. I would people in real life to know the answer to that question.
He's joking.
I am joking.
Anyway, fucking dude, I just like everything about the way this is presented is so interesting to me. It's such fascinating doublespeak. Like it feels cannibalistic to the medium in which it came from.
Yeah,
like these aesthetics, these tropes of behind the scenes featurettes were born from a commercialized interest in selling people on the creative process, right? Like that's the reason that this feels the way it does, is because it's building on a language that has been largely built off of DVD extras and like interview behind featurettes.
Stuff,
but there's no substance of value underneath all of the aesthetics. And so what you effectively get is 2 minutes of bullshit. And if you peel back the layers of bullshit, there's actually nothing there. It is a layered piece of hollow non-content. It is a parody of itself because it is the aesthetics of a medium being used to say nothing. It's fucking fascinating.
It's my favorite thing, because
most writers wish they could write something this ironic and clever as like a piece of parody. Like if this was a Futurama gag, I would say that's pretty good. That's a good one. But it's real.
No, it's so fucking good. It's, again, the validation of watching this video and watching them just not be able to pull it off is pull off the storytelling. Because, again, like, obviously this behind the scenes type of content is almost exclusively, has been historically, marketing. But this is the thinnest version of it, because they don't have something to build off.
It's the most distilled version of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, because they don't have any material to work with.
Yeah, it's because it's the storytelling tropes laid bare with nothing to support it.
It's really, God, if you wanted to be annoying, you could almost treat it like an analogy for something else here. But I just, I'm not going to be that annoying. You can be that annoying in the comments, okay? Draw the obvious connection of, like, aesthetics removed from their history and context and any grounding for us. But yeah, no, it's...
God knows there's a wealth of things to compare it to.
Yeah, it's really great. And by the way, like, this is not the first time that, like, I think like Corridor Digital has been grappling with this exact problem for a really long time. I think my favorite example is the Matrix video, where, like, they're comparing the bullet time effect as it was made originally and the bullet time effect as they're trying to make it now,
featuring some of the worst green color grading I think I've ever seen on YouTube, by the way. And listen, of all the people who could make that complaint, I feel like I've earned it. They didn't. It's like you just actually didn't try. Like, whoever you were hiring to do it editing, they just fucking greened it. Like, fucking whatever, man. It's just, you're fans of The Matrix. Put a little fucking work into it. I know you guys can color grade if you want to. I know you can do it.
But yeah, that video is super interesting. It's intercutting between the story of the original coming up with the bullet time effect and trying to make it happen, including interviews with, like, people who were actually working on it, which is cool.
Yeah.
And their version of it. And the problem they keep running into is that as they're cutting back and forth, anytime they hit a part of their workflow that uses AI, the storytelling beat becomes like, we just have to, like, wait overnight for this to process, and then we'll see what happens, and then we can tweak a thing and we can, like, try running because it's like they're trying to use interpolation to, like, blend between cameras.
Right.
And the problem is that, like, that's just less interesting than the other story that they're telling in like every regard, and they can't quite pull it off. And it feels fucking weird.
The original Matrix trick, for those unaware, is that they literally set up a spiraling roll of cameras that all take timed shots so as to in slow motion record a movement that would otherwise not be physically possible. It was an extremely interesting act of problem solving.
And they're also doing additional, like, morph stuff in between by hand. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that approach was really interesting at the time. And that's why they used it like 3 or 4 different times in the movie, and it's in all of the marketing material, and it's some of the most, like, iconic shots in cinema history, is because it was completely new and interesting. And if you try to tell the story of how it was made, it's interesting not just because, we lined up a million billion cameras. It's the problem solving that went into that as an approach. It's the people doing the thing, but there isn't a lot of people doing a thing involved in, like, interpolating between a few camera angles.
I mean, like, it's fucked up because it's like there is, but, like, once they hit those parts of their pipeline, like, you don't have the dynamics at play.
It's very strangely disjointed.
That's why I think I love that video too. I would be so fucking curious. I know you have reservations. I would be so curious to talk to them about this at some point, because their whole fucking channel.
I don't have reservations. I just I'd be a little shy because I've definitely talked shit about Corridor Crew before. I don't know. I don't quite know how to, it would be a little awkward, but I'd be willing to do it.
But it's like, because their Corridor Crew's whole bread and butter is, like, telling process stories. That's the entire thing of their, like, second channel becoming their main thing.
Yeah.
I'd be so curious because, like, yeah, there's it's another place where this kind of mismatch is super pronounced. But fuck those. We're here to talk about Coca-Cola ad, okay? We're here to talk about Coca-Cola.
I don't know what else there is to say about the Coca-Cola ad. I'm gonna be real.
There's an interview that they did afterwards. There's an interview that contains a lot of really interesting details.
Who conducted the interview?
I believe it was the Hollywood Reporter.
Wow.
So Hollywood Reporter talked with the founder of Secret Level. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this. There's a lot of him insisting that like there's actually not that much difference here between AI and animated film, while also trying to make those differences in like, oh, also we automated all the stuff that you need to do to make an animated film. It's like that dissonance is very alive here. There are some details that are not in the behind the scenes video. So for example, the behind the scenes video does not mention his daughter who is going to school for 3D animation shit talking him. He felt the need to mention that here.
I'm sorry. No, why don't we start from the top? I would like to know. I would like more detail on that one, please.
He starts off the interview by talking about how like there's a traditional way to do this kind of ad and there's a new way to do it. He talks about how brands are more willing to experiment with this than Hollywood is, and how there's been such a big difference between like this year and last year. He talks about how, you know, no, there's a lot of human artistry here. This new ad was done by 20 people. He says there's a lot of hand-drawn character designs that went into it, a lot more sketching and world building, which I find fascinating because, again, the minute that you slop over all of it by feeding it into an image-to-image AI, you lose the connective story that makes that matter. You might as well have just fucking typed in panda that looks like this, and you know.
Panda that looks like, Winks.
Panda that looks like, do the asterisk Winks roleplay in the prompt.
Yeah. Then you're just gonna get a furry.
Yeah, that would have been a better ad.
It would have been a more interesting ad.
Yeah. He talks about how animation is always all about artistry. AI could do some things well, but it can't do everything well. There's a lot more that goes into it than most people think in terms of hand-drawn characters and animating them and all the details. And it's like, okay, man.
So fucking stupid.
It's not just saying a series of words and pressing buttons. I hope people can see that. We did a lot of fine-tuning, a lot of, very specific things to make the animation just like traditional animation.
Warping the logo is easier said than done.
Yeah. And then, by the way, I need this to be an unbroken chain because I need you to understand the extent to which this sentence is just in the middle of him talking. Okay. We do a lot of fine tuning, a lot of very specific things to make the animation just like traditional animation. I have a 20-year-old daughter going to school for 3D animation. She's my toughest critic. Human creativity is at the core of what we do. Like this Coca-Cola ad or the Will.i.am. No one asked about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He talks about, the efficiencies you get with AI are actually, we can iterate and move so much faster. He drops the "we could move at the speed of culture" line, which I really love every time someone says that. I don't know how mimetically that's like broken the tech industry barrier, but I love when people say we can move at the speed of culture.
I have not heard that before, but
yeah, it's really
got
awesome.
A physical reaction out of me.
Yeah. The interviewer says, in response to that, critics would say that speed isn't really speed. It's just using what other people did, only you didn't hire them. To which he responds, the world is not moving slower. If you need a campaign last minute, there's no way to do a massive project at scale without AI. It simply wouldn't get done. Hollywood moves super slow and the brand side moves super fast. We play on both sides of the field, so it's interesting to see the difference.
We play on both sides of the field.
Now, here's my thing. I know when Christmas is going to happen. like well in advance. What the fuck are you talking about?
Why didn't I not make that connection?
Why didn't he? What do you mean you're moving at the speed of culture?
He's not wrong.
Yeah, man. Immediately after that, by the way, the interviewer says, and this is the stuff we haven't talked about, so let's talk about the job element, since that's been a big part of the criticism of the output of AI studios.
Oh, God, he goes there?
Do you feel like you're reducing the number of jobs out there for human artists? Immediately, he goes, well, let's look at Flow. You remember that Oscar-winning animated movie that was made in Blender without using any Gen AI? He says, well, look at Flow. They produced a movie at a quality that won an Academy Award without the massive over-bloated amount of people that it takes to make an animated movie.
Oh my God.
Small and mighty teams. We'll see a lot more of that.
Look at Smiling Friends, man. This scrappy
Editor's
time.
note. Sorry, we got to get here. We got to say this. Small and mighty teams will see a lot more of that. Editor's note. Flow was not made with generative AI. Excuse me.
Cool.
I do like that editing choice.
Great. Thank you, editor.
Another great quote later that is emblematic of the founder of an AI studio. He says, we tell our clients, this is not about spending less money. It's about using budgets more efficiently.
Oh my God.
With this film, we could create a 90-second version in addition to the 60-second spot, and also a customized version. We couldn't do that without the efficiencies of AI. Now that's interesting because
that's really interesting.
You go off.
If you know,
you go off. You show off.
Because that's such an interesting thing to say, that they couldn't have personalized it without the power of AI. Because if you look at the fucking promotional video, what you'll notice is that they hit that same beat. But what they do is they show them rotoscoping a sign that says "Welcome to New York" and making it instead say "Welcome to Chicago." We couldn't have done this without Grok, guys.
Yeah. Now, there are things that AI can do, taking people and making them look like other people. So maybe that's where they're going with it, you know? Grok can make our ads diverse for us.
Google tried it, and it went really well for them.
The final question and answer of the interview is not even a question. The interviewer just very dryly says, and you believe many people like what they see. And then he says,
wow.
The reason our spot tested so well last year is because the average consumer doesn't really care. With our new ad, we go around the world and see animals from different parts of the world. We put happiness on faces, smiles on faces. Why would you get mad about something like that? It's so fucking awesome to have him go like, I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little birthday boy. I'm just putting smiles on face. It's like, okay, man.
We made a silly little guy. Well, I mean, Midjourney. No, we made a silly little guy. We made a little guy. Why would you? You wouldn't be mad at that little guy.
Grok, depict me as a 5-year-old. This is who you're making fun of. Yeah. No, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's fascinating, especially because there is an implication when you look at the way that venture capitalists and people who are more business oriented talk about generative AI, increasing efficiency, is that they assume that it will have all of these effects, but that won't change the way that people value the art. It won't change people's relationships with that art. If you drive the cost of making it to zero, simply nothing will happen. You will simply cut all of your costs and everyone will still pay you the same. It's not about spending less money, guys, which I think is obviously fucking insane. I heard someone whistling behind me. Maybe that got picked up on the mic. I might have.
Billy, isolate that. Enhance. Use Grok. I don't know if you'll be able to isolate that with. Well, maybe you won't be able to enhance that without the power of AI. So.
But yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. Like, these tools obviously exist, and they will probably get better for a little bit. In terms of like aesthetic quality before the bubble actually fucking explodes. But
what do you mean?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
The absolute.
What do you mean?
Blind. No, I think listen, NVIDIA's going to use all of their overproduced GPUs and they're going to build a big raft, and that's going to be a new country, and they're just going to push that out to sea.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the next biggest economy. I believe it. Look, it's interesting to see this kind of thought experiment played out in real time.
Buy low, guys.
Buy low. Listen, this is the lowest the NVIDIA stock will ever be, okay? Buy now. Good fucking God.
The future is bright.
Yeah. I'm just cutting the he's joking part earlier and putting it in front of that. But yeah, I don't know. I think the behind the scenes of the Coca-Cola ad is one of the most revealing and interesting videos I've seen this year. I understand everyone just dunking on it because the ad looks like shit, which is true.
But we gotta stop doing that.
We gotta do more than that.
We gotta stop doing that.
There's so much. I hope that in today's podcast episode, we revealed to you a wealth of new things to dunk on.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We've thought with our thinking caps. A lot of these thoughts come from the AI thing. What we're really trying to get at here.
The AI thing being the video we're writing about AI, because Julian does YouTube stuff.
And so, like, the thing we're trying to get at here is that, like, or rather, a lot of these thoughts stem from the concern that Sam and I share that nitpicking the aesthetics of AI generated content is a losing battle for a variety of reasons, but chief among them the fact that they are now at a point wherever they are not only commercially viable, but in many cases we can't fucking tell anymore. And it's only going to get better until the bubble bursts. So now that we're here, we have to have better things we need to have better arguments than it looks like shit. We need to find more fundamental truths about the reasons that we engage with art, which is why we talk so much about it as a form of play, as a sport.
These are old ideas, by the way. This is like 100-year-old philosophy, if not more.
The act of creating the thing is in and of itself valuable.
Yeah, and specifically, moreover, with the argument that you're talking about, before you move off,
okay,
if tomorrow they came out with a new awesome model. And we're going to use this fucking argument in the video, but if tomorrow they came out with a new awesome model that was like completely always indistinguishable from human art, you wouldn't stop having a problem with it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
In the same way that if they came out with a model, plenty of people are working on models where it's like, oh, there's no copyrighted material used to train any of this. It's entirely quote unquote ethical AI. You would still feel icky about it, right? Because it's AI generated content. Those are good arguments and worth focusing on, but they aren't the core fundamental reason that a machine creating quote-unquote art bothers us. And so it's really worth trying to get to the bottom of where that feeling comes from. So
because I think that repeatedly just nitpicking at aesthetics is a coping mechanism to kind of hope that these will go away instead of like reckoning with what they mean, because the ideas that we are being pushed about what they mean, the idea that this is the death of creativity and no one will have to do things anymore to make stuff, the thought trajectory of don't do anything, don't become anything, kill yourself, just kind of feeling like they're all living in the same space. Just that feeling like the message is scary. But I do think that it is...
Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, but I do think that it is worth digging into our feelings on this more, because there is a better path forward, I think, existentially, creatively, with our relationship with art.
Yeah, because the alternative and where the discourse is largely at right now is apathy or depression.
Yeah. It's Will Smith can eat spaghetti convincingly, therefore art is over.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, I don't believe that. I simply reject that that's the state of play. I don't think that the future of art hinges on us being unable to generate images of like Mario with his hog out or whatever the fuck convincingly, with 5 fingers instead of 6. Human beings are way more interesting than that. We are meaning-making creatures. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So let's figure out how.
The holidays are coming. I don't know if you know.
Dude.
Holidays are coming. 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 Holidays are coming.
We're still on hiatus, so billing is paused, but I would like to thank our $14 patrons: Dusty Marshmallow, Cameron McDonald, Science Frog 551, Alex Alonso, Sirberg. That's right, listeners, I'm working on the Connect update for Unbeatable right now. I'm not. You're gonna get me in trouble with that fucking name. Brandon B, MFET, Roses and Patterns, Wibbs, Sad Toffee Sucks, Carp, Spicy Nacho, John Purdy, Harrison Oakley, Daxtery, Drew McIntosh, Eek, Chulump the Big Money Wizard, Samuel Danver Platts, OJ McMuffins, Leon Kive, Holly Buxa, Wormy, Lucky the Proto, Combustible Mon, Mark D. Hero, Witty the Entertainer, Tobin, Nessie, and Cosmo. Seriously, thank you guys so much. It means a ton.